Let me tell you, that was a beast of a workout.
And I'm doing it on the Hilly trail, and I'm extremely happy because my splits have been from 13:40 to a 14:30, and honestly for me, I'm super happy with that. Yeah. Zone 2 run is complete, and we are both feeling good. We lost both our shoes, our toy, and our water bottle. And by lost, I just mean we threw them out. But still a good heart rate run.
Hello, hello. So week 7 has been complete. Yes, that is my coffee. That is the one coffee I allow myself to have in a week. I'm also chasing it with water so that my kidneys don't get mad at me, because your kidneys need water. But let me not digress. Week 7 training is completed, which means we have almost 2 weeks until a half marathon. And I'm very excited because I looked at my old half marathon times, and I'm not preparing to be faster than those, but I'm preparing to have more fun and actually enjoy it and not hate it, because I distinctly remember hating running the half marathon at mile 5. And the hate just continued until 13. So let's talk about week 7 training. Monday, strength training this week has been completely revamped because my best friend and I were talking about how the strength training aspect was lacking some rotational movements, just felt like it was overall missing things. And so I added them in to this week's training, and let me tell you, that was a beast of a workout. It was honestly really tough, and I was sore from it, but I wasn't sore from it because I was pushing too hard. I was sore simply because I was doing new exercises that I hadn't done in a while, which affected me on Tuesday's workout because Tuesday was a long run. It was 15K, which roughly is like 9.6 miles. So that was an experience. And I kind of want to stop there and talk about Hashimoto's and how that condition that I have plays into training, because it does. So with Hashimoto's, I have to take a medication called Synthroid in the morning, and I have to take it on an empty stomach and an hour before I eat, right? Which I've talked about this before, but I kind of want to hit on it again, because when you have an autoimmune condition that requires you to have a medication that is timed and regulated, it affects your day and what you can do with your day. So for me, when I was preparing, I knew ahead of time that I was going to have to run my 15K in the morning after dropping my lovely child off at daycare. I had to then wake up at like 4:30, take my medication. I honestly went back to sleep until 5:30, woke up, and then made my breakfast. And the reason I did this is because I wanted to make sure that I was going to be fueled for my long run. And that's what becomes tricky when training in the morning, especially in the summer, because summer training, you're trying to avoid the heat, and it feels like the heat and the humidity hit almost once you wake up. But we are extremely lucky this week that it was not hot or humid on Monday and Tuesday, so I was able to kind of get away with it a little bit better. But I still run into this when I train, because when I have to train early in the morning, I either have to train fasted or I have to make sure that I wake up earlier than normal, which kind of messes with your sleep a bit. So it's kind of just feeling all these things out. And let me just say this, like, having this condition is not the worst thing in the world. Yes, it's inconvenient to my lifestyle, but because it is now my lifestyle, I make it work great. And that requires patience, and it requires the ability to adapt to situations. So that's just my little tidbit. It is possible to have this type of disease and still be successful as a athlete, if you will. So that was training Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, did another strength training session, which I filmed. And I filmed at a public gym, but it was really fun to be back in a public gym working out and just having a little bit more of a community of just people, like, whether it's people looking at you and being like, what is that girl doing? Or my lovely elderly men coming up to me being like, sweetie, you're so strong. And I'm like, I love that. Thank you. I appreciate you. Because I'm lucky enough that I have not had a negative encounter like I've heard some women do, where it's people being rude, disrespectful. I thankfully have never had that experience. So it was just lovely to be in the community that really sees you, supports you, and it's a lot of fun to be back in a gym. Then Thursday, which is 4th of July, I knew that my kiddo was going to have daycare off, and I knew that I had an easy run this week, and I wanted to take her on it because I do like taking her with me on runs, because I think it's a good time for her and I to just get to spend together. She gets to explore in the stroller and kind of see her environment in a new way. And she gets to interact with people by saying, hi, how are you? Bye. Just like fun things like that. And let me tell you, stroller running, I do have an opinion on it. And it's kind of a harsh opinion to an extent, because I understand women that can only train with their kids because they don't utilize daycare, they don't have the time, they don't have a significant other that's supportive or a family that's supportive. So I understand that it may be necessary, right? However, I personally think, yes, stroller runs are great. It's a great opportunity, but we can't do them all the time, because it really does alter the body mechanics and makes you tighter, stiffer. It changes your stride pattern. It changes the way that your torso moves, and can be very limiting. Obviously, like I said, I did it. I only do it maybe once, twice a month if the time is available. But I try not to do it all the time because, one, yes, I am thankful that I have daycare. I have support people who are willing to let me go run by myself instead of taking my kiddo with me. But I really think we need to be careful about doing them all the time. So if you have the option to not stroller run for every run you take, that would be ideal, just because you want to make sure that your body mechanics are able to fully move in a comfortable way. And trust me, stroller running, it is not comfortable, especially when you don't have sidewalks and the roads are so sloped, because at certain points I was like, my feet hurt and my arms hurt. This is so difficult. But doing a zone 2 run with my kiddo was so successful, because this time she decided she was going to throw out a toy, throw out a shoe, throw out another shoe, throw out her bottle. And that allows me time to stop, pick things up, which then lowers my heart rate and allows me to be more successful on my run. So if you do have to do a stroller run, try to do a zone 2 run, because there's no reason in trying to go fast with your kid. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, you're entitled to your own. So that was week 7 of training. I might get to a tempo run later this week, but today is Friday. I'm filming and I just want to take the day off and kind of just enjoy doing nothing. So that was week 7 training. Next week will be week 8, and I'll be talking a little bit about traveling and how I'm adapting my training to traveling, because we are going to Houston, Texas. Hey. But yeah, so that was week 7 training. My tidbits about Hashimoto's, strength training, zone 2 running with the stroller, and just all this good stuff. If you have questions, let me know. If you don't and you just like the video, that's cool. And just hit that like and subscribe. Much appreciated. Y'all have a good training week.